Hi guys, welcome back. I'm here today with my daughter Lexi. She was there with me through all of this abuse. And today she's gonna share a brief little glimpse into how the abuse started for her, and we will get into a more detailed version of that at another time. We're actually going to start a series together on different topics to discuss: events, storytelling, questions and answers from you guys. And we'll be filming that and posting those. But Lexi, take it away. How did the abuse start for you?
Well, in like the beginning, everything was fine. Like he actually treated me like an actual father figure, and he was really good to my mom. But then would say more when my brother started getting older, and he knew he couldn't do anything to James anymore because he was about to be an adult. So if he did something, everything could go wrong. So then he would start everything more on us, and just taking out his anger more on us than he did James because of his age.
Like, what did he do to you specifically so that other girls know like what to look for?
Some odd stuff that he did was like, even when I was younger, like below 10 years old. Okay, when I was like below the age of 10, like still really young, I would be getting out of the shower after school or whatever, and he would just walk in my room with no knock or anything, and even my mom would say it and notice it, or I would tell her, or just stuff like that. Like he would take my phone and look through it, have access to my text because he had this certain app on it. He would set a screen time, and it would go off usually during school, which is a safety issue because if something happens, I can't text anybody. And I would have to like, it was very planned out what he was doing. That's what it seemed like to me. Is it was very
Strategic.
yeah, like it was very planned out on what he knew he was doing, knew what he was going into, doing everything.
How would you say like he spoke to you?
Well, okay, so me and my brother had very like specific chores. Like I would vacuum, I would wash the dishes, he would dry the dishes, whatever. We had our own chores for the house because as any normal household does. But so we were still pretty young. Like I was about 7 or 8, and he was like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. So we still didn't really know how chores worked, I would say. So if we would be like doing our laundry for the house, like the kitchen towels, bathroom towels, we would go to fold them, and it wouldn't be folded right. And sometimes we would be even forced to do his wash, which he's a grown man, he can do himself. Just my word. But and then even if like we didn't wipe down the sink and make sure it was like bone dry, we would get in trouble for it and yelled at for it, screamed at for it. And obviously, since I was a little kid, I wasn't going to the gym every day, working on 6-pack abs. So, I was a little bit of a chubbier child, as I would put it. And he'd be like, you really need to get active more. You look too big. And I was thinking, what self-image does that put on a 7-year-old girl? That's only going to develop mental and eating issues in the future when you get older, which I did develop. And at the same age, I couldn't even go out to my friend's house because I was worried of what would happen if I was gone. Not that I could do much, but I developed really bad separation anxiety from my mom and my brother because if I wasn't home, I didn't see what was happening, so I didn't know what was going to happen. Like I said, not that I could do anything about it, but I still wanted to be there and make sure everything was okay. And like if it was a chore day, which usually our day was like Tuesday or something, we would be watched for hours on the security camera that he had that I thought was just normal. Like I thought that was just a normal thing people do. But then when I went to friends' houses, they didn't have cameras in their kitchens, in their living rooms, at like obviously at each front door or whatever, but not just in the center of the living room. And what he said, it was for the dog that we had, but that's not normal. He was a grown dog. You don't need a camera to watch him. He's fine, especially if we're home.
And we weren't given access to.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't given the Wi-Fi access to or whatever because it was linked to a different account, which, again, not normal. But just stuff like that causes really bad, or could cause really bad mental or even eating issues, like I said, in the future when you get older. So I would just warn every girl, teenage girl, any age you're going through, just look out for all of those things, even if not every person that does this is the same, but
In our situation, it was. So if you're seeing the signs, please talk to somebody. What did it feel like for you to finally be out of that house?
we did whatever it's called. What is it called?
The PFA.
Yeah, that. Even when we did that, it just felt like smaller and smaller amounts of like weights were lifted off. Like here a 2-pound weight, here another 2-pound weight, and then finally all the weight that was on all of our shoulders were finally lifted, and we were able to be free and do what we wanted, like without someone watching you, quite literally, 24/7 on what we were doing. And even before moving day, we unplugged the cameras or whatever to make sure, even if he wasn't there, he didn't see what we were doing, because that's like illegal. So,
Stalking.
and I just felt like I could actually be free and do what I wanted without so much stress about wondering what was going on when I wasn't there, because I was like about 13, 14 when all this happened, like at the end. So I had a little bit more understanding of what was going on. So once it all ended, I finally realized that I was free and I could move on with my life.
Do you think that being in that abusive household, that it affected your image of relationships?
I think so, yes. But because not even with like a boyfriend, girlfriend, if you have friends that show those signs, which I've seen it multiple times in friends that I've had, it's made me first think like, oh, is this like how it was before? Am I going to be in the same situation that I was before and just feel stuck with even a friend, or like trying to get into a relationship? If you're like, I don't want the same thing to happen to all of, like, even like my mom to happen to me. And I would say it made it pretty hard. Like, I feel like now I'm starting to understand that not everyone's like that. You need to look for the good people in the world, which is hard, but you have to learn to do it. But I would say, yeah, it made it really hard.
So you do believe that you can have a healthy relationship?
Yes, and I do.
How has dealing with a narcissist influenced your path, both past and present?
I think in the past it made me feel like I couldn't do anything. Like I kept seeing him being like, oh, you can't do this, you're too worthless for this, like you're not going to get anywhere with this. Like I would just keep hearing that in my head. But now I've actually grown on my self-confidence. My anxiety's gotten a lot better. I started going to the gym more and focusing on that, and now I actually have a plan for my future. I really want to go to school, and I'm starting to learn about that right now because I am a junior in high school. So it's going to get more serious, but I think I'm a lot more influenced and not worried about what I keep hearing from now or before.
All right, that was just a little bit of Lexi's story. Like I said, we'll be back. We're going to start doing a series of different topics to discuss with you guys. Please send us any questions, comments, whatever you want to hear us talk about. We'll be willing to do that for you guys. And please remember, stay strong, stay smart, and narc no more.